Hello and welcome to the G3 Pulse podcast. Our guest today is Noah Akers of Akers Manufacturing. Noah, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, Lewis, how you doing? Thanks for
All
having
good,
me.
thank you. All good, all good. One of the reasons to get hold of you today is that, and I mean, maybe for anybody that's outside of the US and new to Acres, you're launching a product, and you have been launching a product called Foundation. We did an article with you back in November. It was pretty comprehensive and enjoyable as well. For anybody that wants to read that and find out all the details about Foundation, we'll leave a link in the description below. But what I wanted to do today, just really kind of give me a little bit of a background about Acres and where it fits into the industry and the sector that you've been involved in as well.
Yeah, so our we create technology, and the purpose of our technology is to improve the player experience and enhance operator profitability.
Okay.
And to me, those two go hand in hand. I don't think that operators are going to make more money by offering a worse player experience. So we're trying to improve the player experience and help drive people to produce more trips to the casino and play more when they're there.
Okay.
And to us, it really comes down to offering real-time data that can be personalized and targeted to the player, so that now they're getting personalized offers as they play in the gaming session or after they leave the casino. Most of this would be app-based, but yeah, so we're all about personalization and real time.
Okay. How long has Acres been around? In terms of a business.
Oh wow, that's a tough question because we, uh, there's many different generations and iterations. I think that
Okay.
since in this iteration of Acres, we've been around since about 2008.
Okay.
We didn't start creating foundation until I think 2017. We finished the product right around the start of the COVID shutdowns,
Right.
and
Okay.
so we've been kind of launching it in the background of some world changing events.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's running around the background of everything. But what's your kind of description of the elevator pitch, I guess, of Foundation? What is Foundation?
Well, Foundation plugs into any slot machine, and it gives operators a proprietary, direct, proprietary to them interface that they own and control. And that interface does two things. It's able to collect all of the real-time data from any slot machine, and it's able to change the credit meter on command also on any slot machine.
Okay.
And so when you kind of put those two together, that means that you can do all kind of bonusing and messaging and things like that based upon either the player's real time or accumulated experience. And the open interface allows us to connect all of that data and that experience to any app, to any signage system, to anything that the casino wants in order to reach and communicate with the player.
Okay. Obviously, there's a big clamor for cashless at the moment, and one of the main reasons to kind of dial into Foundation was to actually start with cashless and then move on to everything else. And I was wondering what is it you've tied in with Every and the Every kind of cash wallet solution, the Cash Club wallet solution. I was wondering what's actually involved in making that connection. Is that where most people actually jump into Foundation as well?
Yeah, so to us, like we really designed Foundation. We had bonusing in mind.
Oh, okay.
Uh, we wanted to create all these new bonuses and be able to connect them to any slot machine. But once COVID hit, the focus upon the focus from a lot of the operators and the regulators uh, immediately turned to cashless. So, but to us, it's really the same system because all we're doing is changing the credit meter on the game. And
Okay.
so for a bonus, there's two parts to a bonus. There's the story, which is kind of the reveal and the animations that you show, and then there's the pay, which is the actual changing of the credit meter. And then with cashless, it's really the same thing. It's just changing the credit meter, but the story is the player made a transaction from their app or from their cashless account.
All right.
And so we allow casinos to select any payment processor that they want. And we're doing cashless with Penn National Gaming, and Penn National Gaming is using Every's Cash Club wallet
Okay.
as their payment processor. And so all we do is we integrate uh, uh, Every's Cash Club wallet into our APIs. And so we're able to receive a command from Every when there's a customer transaction. And let's say it's Noah Akers going to a slot machine and transferring $50. Well, the Every system tells the Akers system, find Noah Akers on the floor and add $50 to his credit meter. And that's essentially all we do. So to us, it's really the same thing, whether it's cashless or bonusing.
Okay, and there's obviously player loyalty involved, floor efficiency involved in what comes next from Foundation in terms of beyond cashless as well. So, if an operator is wanting cashless, that's the kind of the jumping off point. But as you say, it was created for bonusing and has all this information that's now coming from the data flow. I think you described a fire hose of data was the one of the phrases that I remember from our interview back in November. What does Foundation enable that's beyond cashless as well, and all the kind of enrichment of the data for the operator?
Well, I think that first of all, there's a dirty secret in our industry, and that's that all the systems hardware that's out there today is literally 25, 30 years old. All of the hardware that's run in casinos today, from a loyalty perspective, was literally designed in the 1990s,
Mhm.
and consumer demands were way different back in 1996. Uh, for instance, Acres Gaming was started by my dad. The first Acres system install was for the Crown Casino, which opened in Melbourne, Australia, I think in 1997. He sold that company to IGT in 2004, and the hardware is literally the same hardware that they opened with, Crown Casino in 1997. So, uh, you know, the gaming technology hasn't been rapidly developed. And
Okay,
what that means is that the casinos are unable to process data in real time. Uh, they don't even collect all the data that the slot machines produce.
okay,
So what Foundation does is it gives operators the ability to digest all of this information in real time, essentially learning to predict a player's value either over time or in the moment, and give them real-time offers that are designed, that are targeted to a specific player and designed to get them to have a better experience, to spend more, to come back more frequently. And so when we talk to operators that are considering doing something with going cashless,
mm,
the question that we have for them is, what do you think the adaptation is going to be if all you're doing is just cashless?
okay,
If all I'm providing to the player is a means of transferring funds to the game, either from a piece of hardware that's mounted to the game or from my app, well, what's really in it for the player? Do players hate cash that much that they're going to abandon this and take all the trouble to go sign up and enroll and deposit, and then all they're going to be able to do is send money to and from the game? We think that's an emphatic no.
okay,
And the real answer is that you have to bundle the player experience into the cashless experience. And so we are envisioning a world where the player has an app. It could be any app that the casino wants.
okay,
Uh, the player's logged in on the app. They have their cashless wallet. But as they're playing in the gaming session, we're tracking their performance. We're tracking their results. And we're issuing them messages and offers in the moment, designed to get them to enter, more currency into the machine, redeposit, and
yeah,
just in general play longer and have a better time. So our focus is really changing the player experience through the cashless experience, allowing them to have, bonusing and loyalty and messaging and offers all wrapped into that same cashless interface.
okay. So that's where the profitability comes from. That's where the idea of almost doubling casinos' profitability comes from. The additions, not from cashless, but from what's actual Foundation allows you to do in terms of that connectivity to the player and to their data.
That's absolutely right. I mean, so we really think that casinos can double their revenues by embracing this technology. And if you think about it, like if you get your player onto an app and that app is interfaced directly to the slot machine, and we know in real time how that player's performed, what their worth is, how much money they have behind them, uh, and you now have the ability to communicate to that player not only in the moment when they're playing the game, but when they're back at home, 2 weeks later, whatever it is, to try to produce a bounce back visit.
Yeah.
Your chances are a lot greater. And we always look at, in the United States, I think gross gaming revenues have increased in the past 15 years since, okay, I'm sorry, so since 2007 GGR in the US has increased by about 30%, and
Yeah.
that's barely keeping pace with the rate of inflation. In the background, you're seeing a lot more casinos that have opened in that time, so we have more slot machines, more competition, and we're not really making that much more money. But if you compare that to internet companies like Netflix or Facebook or Amazon, they've gone from being relatively even with the casino space in terms of revenue
Yeah.
to now they've expanded thousands of times. They've grown their revenue by thousands of times over the past 15 years. And that's because uh, the iPhone came out and the smartphone came out, and people are getting the real competition for casinos isn't just the casino down the street or in the next town. The
Mm.
competition for casinos is where are people spending their entertainment dollars? And mobile games and mobile experiences provided by big online companies are primary competition for casinos. If we provide something that kind of gives that same experience to players, we can grow casino revenues exponentially.
Mm. Um, Well, I know that a lot of technologies is talking up the technology, but obviously you have a roadmap of installations as well. You have trials and kind of real world facts and figures that are kind of rolling in. What can you share with us right now?
I'm sorry, I didn't.
I just,
What did I say?
in terms of the installations that are going ahead, that you mentioned Penn National before. I just wondered in terms of those trials and what facts and figures are you getting in? How are they using that data? How is that kind of coming into you? And what are you seeing? How's Foundation being used in kind of the kind of real world space?
Yeah, so we're seeing operators that are using it number one for cashless.
Okay.
We're about to release a bonusing module that I'll talk about in more detail in a moment. But then there's the real time analytics piece, and we have a great tool called the Optimal Poker Analyzer that is
Okay.
able to analyze a player's decision in video poker in real time, and allows operators to tailor marketing offers based upon the player's actual skill level in video poker.
Okay.
And we're doing all sorts of things like that to really predict the player's value and fine tune the marketing offer to what that player's both their value and their projected value. I think as a whole, the industry tends to reinvest 20 to 30% of revenues into players,
Okay.
and a lot of that's wasted because we don't collect very accurate data as an industry, and
Mm.
therefore we make bad spend decisions. If we're collecting literally 1,000 times more data points today than casinos are collecting, prior to foundation, we're going to make a lot more efficient marketing offers. And I think a 1% savings could represent millions of dollars for casinos, depending on their scale.
All right. And are you getting interest from outside? When we spoke previously, you were talking about how this could let in technology companies outside of the gaming space, because at the moment there's a kind of a wall of kind of proprietary software and hardware out there, and to jump over that, are you seeing that kind of understanding of where foundation can take people next in terms of that kind of IT solutions, linking software, and that really hasn't been able to get into this space because there's been licensing problems, etc.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. People are really starting to catch on to what Foundation can deliver. Recently, we announced the Foundation App Store. We have
Yeah.
about 20 different developers in there today, each offering a product that's been tested and certified to work on Foundation. These are, payment processors, bonus operate like companies that make bonuses, data analytics firms, different kind of just things that can be brought into the casino environment. And the problem that we've had for the past 20 or so years is that
Mm.
the systems that are in place predominantly today, other than Foundation, have very closed interfaces.
Right.
They don't allow the operator to say, "Hey, I'd like to connect my data to this provider and this provider and that provider," primarily because the technology is limited, first of all, but the business model behind that technology is to charge a toll every time they access the data, and there's a long-standing desire to be like that one-stop shop where if I buy something, well, the system provider wants to make sure I only buy it from that system provider. And I think that's kind of an outdated business model. I mean, I remember back in the 90s when I was, in high school, I had a Apple computer and I couldn't get Word on my Mac.
Yeah. Yeah.
And uh, they changed that, and then Apple eventually opened their own app store, and uh, it was a big part of them becoming the largest company in the world.
Right.
And I think that when you shut out other ideas, it slows us down as an industry, right? There's been a lot of really smart people, a lot of good businesses with great ideas that have tried to bring their solutions to casinos, and they've been shut out by the legacy systems providers. And
Right.
we're trying to do the opposite. So we have this app store model where developers can come in, any developer can come in and produce an app that's compatible with Foundation, and that application might even compete directly with something that we provide.
Okay.
But in our opinion, it's the operator's prerogative to decide what's best for their business. Do I want to get the best of breed solution? Do I want to get something from a specific provider? Do I want to get something that's meets a specific price point? That's not up for me to
Okay.
decide as a systems provider. The casino buys my system and they now own the rights to all the data, and they control the data, they control the access to the data, and they can open it up to any developer that they want to work with.
And are you actively going, looking at technology that's out there and saying, well, maybe become part of our app store at the same time, become part of the Foundation App Store, if you think that they've got some compatible kind of solutions out there too.
Yeah, so there's definitely some places that we've approached about coming into Foundation. We have a pretty long queue now, in addition to the 20 or so that we have integrated. And really, I'll tell you that within the last 2 or 3 weeks, the volume of interest that we're getting directly coming to us has greatly increased as well. So I think that we're going to be growing the App Store quite a bit in the very near future.
And is the process quite straightforward? I mean, are they applying the kind of API to you, and then do you kind of approve it, or what's that process behind that now?
Yeah, so we have a standard set of APIs that allow developers to connect to Foundation, and ultimately Foundation connects them to slot machines.
Okay.
But what we offer is we have a test facility in our office here in Las Vegas, and that test facility includes Foundation connected to various slot machines, and we can expose that to developers either virtually, or they can come into our office and kind of test a connection. But they can build their app and connect it to Foundation through a certified process that we offer. Once they get certified, and once we kind of demonstrate a working product in our office, then we are free to put. We end up just saying, "Hey, you're certified with Foundation," and we put them on the App Store.
Well, very. It sounds very quick. Um, what plans for the rest of the year do you have? I mean, you just got the App Store up and running. Um, I, I I know you're going to be at NIGA in a couple of next month's time as well. I just wonder what are you kind of your big goals for 2022 now, and how are you going about achieving them?
We're about to make a big launch ahead of NIGA of a
Okay.
product that we call Precision Bonusing. And what that means is that Foundation will make any slot machine not only instantly cashless compatible, but also instantly bonus compatible.
Okay.
So an operator can plug in any bonus that they want to any slot machine they want. These could be slot machines that they own, and not slot machines they have to buy to get a specific bonus. But we will be releasing several bonuses at the launch of this precision bonusing suite. We will have a wheel bonus, we
Okay.
will have a multi-level progressive bonus, and we will also have a first of its kind mobile bonus that pays people for interaction on a slot machine to their mobile device.
Okay.
So that's something that we're really excited about launching, and it's something that nobody's, I think, ever even thought of before in our industry. I think it's going to be a major, major victory for us and the industry at large. And so when we launch precision bonusing, this is going to give operators the ability to install perhaps just a few, individual machines or banks of machines of Foundation to get access to a bonus. But that just helps us get our footprint in the door.
Okay. And okay, you take on Foundation, but to get precision bonusing, is that an add-on, or is that just something that comes with the suite? Is that just something that comes with
Uh,
Foundation?
yeah, so it's an add-on. So everything that we do in Foundation is a downloadable application,
Okay.
and the bonusing is a downloadable application that you can get. So there are, as I described a moment ago, there's three bonuses that we're primarily launching at the beginning.
Okay.
We're, we have dozens of more in the queue. Some are not even produced by us. Some are produced by our App Store partners.
Okay.
But each bonus is a la carte, right? So the
Right.
casino can decide, I want to get this bonus, I want to get that bonus, and it's very customizable in terms of what machine do I want to put it on, what time period do I want to offer the bonus, what are the prizes that are available, what are the probabilities behind it. We can tailor the bonus to be driven based off of coin in, based off of coin out, based off of minimum levels of either. We could bonus people when it's their birthday.
Yeah.
We could bonus people who are cashless players. So this is really like a major advancement in terms of bonusing, giving operators the tools to target individual players or individual types of players with really cool bonuses that they can experience either on the slot machine with actual physical signage that's there, like a traditional bonus, or something that goes to their mobile device. And
Okay.
the really cool thing about when you bonus to the mobile device is that now you can give away more than just like cash and free play. So if I'm playing a bonus at a casino and there's a
Mm.
sign overhead and the bonus is going to pay me to the slot machine's credit meter, that bonus pretty much always has to be either cashable credits or free play.
Okay.
If we're sending bonus to the wallet, we can make that merchandise. We can make it, different things that have breakage. So we could say, hey, Noah, you won $10 of free play, but it's only valid tomorrow,
Mm.
right? It expires the day after tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or I could say, hey, come in tomorrow and we'll double your largest jackpot. And we have the ability to monitor your pays in real time, and whatever that largest pay that you hit, we're gonna pay that amount also to your mobile wallet, and we can make that only valid this week.
Right.
So we can build in all these cool features that add breakage. So we give players the feeling that they're winning something without actually costing the operator anything when there's no actual visit from the player.
Win-win. In terms of those installs, you had a very ambitious kind of installation roadmap ahead of you into 2022. How are things? How are things kind of moving along that size? Are you on track? Are you ahead? I know COVID was putting a bit of a strain on the resources of casinos to be able to get this involved, and you were supplying kind of engineers to put that into place. Has that eased off at all? Are we seeing a faster rollout? And is 2022 on track for all the targets that you set yourselves?
Yeah, we're doing great so far. I think that our projections are pretty much still in place. We're expecting to do well over 100,000 units shipped this year.
Okay.
We're seeing tremendous interest from virtually every operator, large and small.
Okay.
The product that we have is, um, I don't want to sound bombastic, but or I don't want to brag, but it's truly far and ahead, far and above anything else in our industry. As I said before, everything else is 25, 30 years old in terms of the technology. Ours is brand new. It's a modern stack. It does something that nobody ever dreamed possibly before. So when casinos are evaluating where they want to take their future,
Mm.
obviously they're going to go with the most capable technology. And so we feel really confident about our position going forward. We have a great deal of demand, a great deal of interest, and one of the great things about partnering with a really uh, wonderful operator like Penn is that they're active in 20 states. And so that gets us regulatorily approved in every single one of those states,
Mm.
which kind of gets us on the map for any other casino that wants to add foundations. So we're looking really good for 2022, and we're looking really good for beyond. And I think that honestly, that means that the industry is looking good because we're
Mm.
really moving things forward in terms of, like I said at the beginning, focused on the player experience and focused on the operator profitability.
I think when we spoke in the previously, I think I kind of said that this is one of the most exciting products that I've seen coming onto the market in the 20 years I've been writing about this. So yeah, we look forward to keeping up to speed with what your developments are. Good luck with Niger and the show and the launch of kind of precision bonusing as well. It sounds like it's going to be a fascinating, interesting, but also as bombastic as you kind of said, a brilliant year as well. So good luck with everything, Noah. I appreciate any updates you have going forward, and to speaking to you soon again in the future.
Great. Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me that you said that about having some
It's
excitement about
absolutely
our
true.
product, and I really feel that way too. I really feel like this is a legitimately solid, good product for the industry, and it's going to help us grow revenues. And this is something that is it's not just benefiting our company because we're making sales, but it's benefiting the industry as a whole because it's going to grow profitability. It's going to benefit players because they're going to have a better time, and that's just good for everybody. So we're here for the good of everybody.
Yeah, yeah, no,
and
I completely understand that, and yeah, I just want to make sure that everyone gets the kind of the message as well, and kind of gets on board with this. At least understands what the offer is, and understands how beneficial it can be from the operators through to people who can potentially jump onto the app store and provide their kind of technology to actually get this further forward as well. So No, thank you very much for taking part.
Okay, great. Thank you, Lewis.
Thanks a
Appreciate
lot.
it.
Bye.
Bye bye.